You know, we're in the middle of this massive and honestly really exciting energy revolution. But, and this is a big but, it's putting some serious strain on a system that, let's face it, was built for a totally different time. So, how do we lean into this amazing green future without, breaking our electrical grid? I mean, on the one hand, the progress is just incredible. This whole switch to clean energy is happening right on our streets, right in our driveways. Millions of us are plugging in EVs, which is fantastic. We're ditching fossil fuels for a much cleaner ride.
And it's not just our cars. The revolution is happening right over our heads, too. We're turning our homes into these little mini power plants. Rooftop solar is absolutely booming, and it lets us generate clean power right where we're going to use it. And then we're electrifying pretty much everything else, especially how we heat and cool our homes with amazing tech like heat pumps. All of this, it's exactly what we need to be doing to fight climate change. It's all good news.
But, and here it is, the question that's probably keeping utility engineers up at night. Is our grid ready for this? I'm talking about the infrastructure of copper wires and transformers that was designed like 100 years ago. Can it actually handle this massive, decentralized, and frankly unpredictable new demand?
Well, the short answer is no, not really. And this gap, this disconnect between our green ambitions and our grid's reality, it actually has a name. They call it the operational coordination crisis. It basically means we, the customers, are adopting all this new tech way faster than utilities can figure out how to safely and affordably plug it all in.
And look, this isn't some far-off theoretical problem. Not at all. If you want to see what happens when all these good intentions collide with some very real physical limits, you just have to look at this really startling warning sign that came out of Maine.
So in 2024, a big grid study in Maine decided to look just 10 years into the future, to 2034. And the projections they came back with were, well, to put it lightly, pretty alarming.
So get this. The study projected that by 2034, a staggering 41% of all the local distribution transformers in the entire state would be overloaded during the winter. Why? Mostly because of the huge boom in people getting super efficient electric heat pumps.
And it wasn't just things getting overloaded. The study also predicted that 121 different circuits would have serious voltage violations. Now, what does that mean? Well, think of it like unstable power surging through the lines, the kind of thing that can literally fry your appliances and, yep, trigger blackouts.
Okay, so here's the really crucial part. Maine is just the canary in the coal mine here. This exact same pattern, all this new green tech coming online without any real coordination, is happening everywhere. And it's leading to something called overbuild, which is just a fancy way of saying we're spending billions on expensive hardware upgrades that we might not even need.
So why is this happening? What's the root cause? Well, it really comes down to this fundamental disconnect. There's a missing piece, a missing layer in how we manage the grid. It's like we've got two different worlds trying to solve the problem, but there's no bridge between them. See, on one side, you have the market economists. They're all saying, hey, just get the prices right. The market will figure it out. But then, over on the other side, you've got the control engineers saying, no, just get the control algorithms and the tech standards right, and everything will work perfectly. The thing is, neither of them is wrong, but they're not right either, because these two approaches have to talk to each other in real time. And right now, they don't. And that bridge, that missing communication layer, that's what we call operational coordination. It's the absolute critical link that lets the financial world of prices and the physical world of voltage and system controls actually communicate and adapt to each other moment by moment. So if our grid basically needs a new brain, what would that even look like? Well, this brings us to a whole new way of thinking, a new kind of operating system for our entire energy network. There's a company called Dynamic Grid that is tackling this problem head-on. And they're not just building another app or some new software for a control room. No, they are building a new, intelligent operating system for the grid itself. Now, the key difference here, and this is really important, is where all this thinking happens. This OS is super adaptive and secure because it's what's called edge-based. That means the brain is on hardware, right there at your local substation, not sitting in some distant and potentially vulnerable cloud server. Okay, I know, a grid operating system sound really cool and futuristic, but how does it actually work? Like, what does it do? Well, it all comes down to sending two very smart but actually very simple signals out to the grid. The first signal is called a flexible operating envelope, or FOE. Just forget all those old, rigid rules. Think of this as a live traffic report for the power lines. It tells your solar panels or your home battery the exact safe amount of power they can push onto the grid at any given second. This prevents traffic jams, or in our case, overloads. Now, the second signal is called the Coordinated Local Price Response, or CLPR, and this is even cooler. It takes all that complicated grid data and turns it into a simple local price for electricity that changes during the day. So your smart devices, like your EV charger, see this price and automatically decide to charge up when power is cheapest and the grid is least stressed out. It's like your house is automatically bargain hunting for energy all by itself. And the benefits of doing it this way are huge. For the utility, they can connect way more solar and storage without having to do all those expensive hardware upgrades. And for us, our devices respond automatically to price, not to some direct command from the utility, which is way better for privacy. And because the signals only travel one way, out from the substation, it's incredibly secure. There's no way for a hacker to send a signal back and mess with the grid. So what's the big picture here? What does this all add up to? Well, we are talking about a fundamental shift in how we think about our grid, moving it from a passive network of just dumb wires to a live-in, intelligent, and dynamic system. You can really see the difference here. The old way to deal with congestion was just to build more stuff, more poles, more wires. The new way uses adaptive software. The old way of thinking about cybersecurity involved risky two-way cloud communication. The new way is secure, one-way signaling from the edge. It's just a smarter, faster, and cheaper approach all around. And this really changes the entire role of a utility company for the next 100 years. They're not just operating a few giant power plants anymore. Now they become more like conductors of a symphony, orchestrating millions of different instruments. Your solar panels, my EV, our neighbor's smart thermostat, all playing together in perfect harmony. And that leaves us with one last thought. The technology to build this clean, resilient, and coordinated energy future, it exists right now. It's not science fiction. So the real question is your city ready to join the symphony? Are we ready to stop just building more hardware and start conducting the music? Because embracing this smarter approach, it's not just about preventing blackouts. It's about unlocking a cleaner, cheaper, and more resilient energy future for every single one of us.